To so many fans today, sport is all about numbers. And by the numbers alone, Jim McKay's career in television is worth honoring. He was the face and voice of 12 Olympic Games and helped create the love Americans have for that event.
It is Vivian Brown, but now comes Wilma Rudolph. She's really going to have to go. Wilma's going to have to turn it on. The Soviet Union out in front. Here's the last 90 yards, and look at her go!
Here is Bill Toomey, running in the footsteps of Jim Thorpe and Rafer Johnson and Bob Mathias, running in the cold and the dark of Mexico City, in the breathless air, winning the decathlon.
This then is a historic performance you're watching right now in gymnastics.
Jim McKay traveled more than 4.5 million miles to 40 countries and covered more than 100 different sports as the host from the very beginning in 1961 of ABC's Wide World of Sports. And he was the author of those immortal words that began every show and have since become part of the language of sports.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
I believe that mush is the word I was groping for. You have just seen one of the worst exhibitions of sled dog driving in the world.
Today you're going to see him perform one of the world's most daring athletic feats, leaping from a cliff into the swirling waters of the Pacific Ocean.
Monte Carlo is the scene of the Grand Prix of Monaco, and there they go.
I am going to try to hit a golf ball over the Great Wall of China.
All those future Jim McKay Scholarship recipients will surely hear the story of how Jim McKay sat down at the anchor desk at the 1972 Munich Olympics and for 16 consecutive hours calmly guided Americans through the most dramatic and tragic day in sport history.
You know, when I was a kid, my father used to say, our greatest hopes and our worst fears are seldom realized. Our worst fears have been realized tonight.
They have now said that there were 11 hostages. 2 were killed in their rooms yesterday morning. 9 were killed at the airport tonight. They're all gone.
Yes, by the numbers alone, Jim McKay is surely worth honoring. But the Jim McKay Scholarship recognizes a man whose legacy goes far beyond describing games. He told us stories, not about sports, but about people. He introduced us to new cultures, and he showed us how sport can open doors around the world. Jim McKay was a storyteller, and nobody ever did it better.
Jim would always inspire the people that he worked with to do their best, because no matter how hard you worked at putting a segment together, he would add the words that would make it better than you ever dreamed.
He had a remarkable ability of composition as he covered live television. He could collate, he could simulate, he could do all those things essential to telling a story.
Jim McKay set an unbelievable standard for those of us who followed him in any kind of a host position. He set the standard, and we're all trying to live up to it.
In the years to come, when NCAA student athletes receive the Jim McKay Scholarship, they will know that they are following in the footsteps of a pioneering broadcaster who helped us understand that sport can be about much more than running and jumping and sticks and balls. Jim McKay helped us all to understand that sport, more than anything, is about people.